All right, guys. Pretty pretty power packed last 48 hours. It's after midnight. I think it's Wednesday. I took some time off and I went ballistic on contacting. So I went to a meeting and Brad was showing the plan, and I actually have the marker that he threw up. Anyhow, that's a long story, but a lot of you wouldn't get it. But he threw it against the board on purpose in a joke kind of thing, and it bounced off the whiteboard, cracked the cap, which is why I have two caps on it. Cracked this one. I didn't want this marker to die, so I grabbed one of my spare ones or whatever, and that was 02 13 18. I put that with permanent marker, and this is the marker that Brad showed the plan with, and I think he makes close to $1 million a month. So that's no magic in it, even though it's a quote-unquote magic marker, dry erase. And anyhow, so at the end of the plan, I was sitting front row. I camped out. I've got some pretty interesting videos of that I'm going to upload later. But I camped out at 4 o'clock at the front of the line before anybody showed up. And I was front row right in front of the whiteboard where he was showing the plan. And so not only did I get to shake his hand, and not only did I asked him if I could have this marker, I got to high five him at the end again. And I don't think anybody else that was fairly new in the business did that. And I asked this Asian guy that was sitting beside me. I thought Asians were great with videos and cameras and stuff, but he's a rookie, this one. And so I don't even know if he's really Chinese. He didn't do it. Anyhow, I asked him to, and no, I'm not racist. You think I'm racist, but you maybe don't know that I'm like Russell Peters. You have to Google and YouTube Russell Peters just so you know I'm not racist. Anyways, I show this plan on here and tell you what I did over there. So then you go this way. Don't put your left blinker on and turn right. Then you'll be a bad driver. So anyhow, ha ha ha. So I've got the marker. And since after that plan, I met these three champions, 20, 21, 22 years old, the three of them, and they took a flippin' Greyhound bus from Alberta. So for my American friends, that is like a 14-hour drive when 10 to 12-hour drive when I drive, because I've been driving for a long time. So don't speed. I'm not telling you to speed. I'm a professional driver. I have what they call a road star status. It's the top of the top status for insurance. I maxed out at like 48 or 49% on my insurance because I've been driving for like 25 years. And when you don't have accidents and all this stuff, you have this, like, it's called road star. That's the legal term for the insurance that the government sets up. So anyhow, I'm a road star plus, and so all I'm saying is they took about a 14 to 17-hour drive on a Greyhound just to go from an 8 o'clock to 11 o'clock meeting. That's just awesome. And so they are champions. They will be Founders Crown Ambassadors without a shadow of a doubt in my mind. No doubt about it. So hanging out with them last night, gave them a ride to the Greyhound, and it was snowing in British Columbia, which is like a miracle. So some kid who was a snowboarder was probably praying for that, and thank you for that, because, man, it was an awesome night. Like, I met someone from Australia. I met this like A&W worker that was not looking. And then I met the drive-through person that was looking. The person that was late at night in the middle of the snow at like 1 o'clock in the morning at the back of the A&W was putting boxes from their big truck into the back of this supplies for the A&W. They were not looking. They're like, yeah, I got a good job, it's got benefits. And funny that Brad mentioned benefits out there, and he's like, yeah, just get rich and give your benefits away. But anyhow, and his wife still works, this guy. And he's like, yeah, no, I'm not interested. And this guy makes his wife work. I mean, man. Anyhow, so, not that women working is bad, but if she doesn't want to work, he should at least be a man and, build a business and make it so that if she doesn't want to work, she can just retire. So anyhow, for you that don't understand that, you'll have to understand that the men in this business are champions. They gun it, and the first one to leave the job is always the wife, because ladies first. So anyhow, so from the last night, from the A&W person, so there was an Asian gentleman that was like, "Nah, I got good benefits." Then the Asian drive-through lady, she's like, "Oh wow, that came out like, oh my gosh." Okay, so obviously this is in light of the snow that happened last night. So then there was somebody at the Greyhound bus. This young fireball. He actually was so enthusiastic that the negative lady that was behind the counter at Greyhound came out and asked him to be quiet. And I was like, I didn't think he was loud enough. So I was tempted to just start yelling, because I can do that. But anyhow, free country. So then between there and just now, and I got a funny story how this night ended. This is really comical. Between there and tonight, it was 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is really funny. I'll never forget this one, because this is like the snowy night. It's so comical. Like, you're messy. Yeah, well, I'm wealthy. Deal with it. So then out of there is 7 people that are open to side business projects. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And the number of meet and greets. I did a meet and greet at noon, which I didn't want to wake up, because I didn't leave the Greyhound bus place till like, what was it, almost 4:15. So I did a meet and greet at noon, so there's that. And then I did a plan tonight. So first plan of the whole flipping month. That's brutal. It's like the 14th day, February 14th, Valentine's Day. It took me a whole month to find a knucklehead to get through the process to show the plan. But then again, I did only start doing this 14 days ago. So started February 2018. I planned to start in January, but I was too lazy. Christmas holidays, and I'm learning the process and stuff. But I was like, okay, February 1st, I am consistently going to contact at least 3 to 4 people a day. So to date, from February 1st, 29, 30, 31, 32. Oh my gosh, I can't remember if this is just one or not. It's probably just one. I'll review the tape. I'll watch this video and find out. Because if it was a 1 beside, I would have crossed it out probably. So I'm at 5, 10, 15. Oh, this is perfect. 15, put 1 over there. 15 plus 30 is 45, 46, 47, 48. So I'm at 48 for the month of approaches. And that's awesome, because I wanted to be at least at 50 by the 15th, by the end of the 15th. So tomorrow I'll be over 50, so I'm right on track. Out of that 50, so far, 5, 10, 24, 25, 26 said they're open to looking at side business projects. Coordinating the meet and greets so far, because there's still some in here that I have to call and set up a meet and greet with. Out of there so far, 6 meet and greets, and only 1 person that qualified for a plan. There was one in here where I actually did show the plan, but his wife wasn't there, so his wife's still in Alberta and he's here working for another few weeks, so I don't really count that as over here, but they're still going through the process. But the 2 shall become 1, so I don't really count that, because I want them together so we have to like FaceTime or whatever, but get her on board. So, but this plan tonight this guy's like, okay, I want to drive from like Ottawa to Toronto and meet this Greg guy. So that is a good, that's hours and hours of drive. So it was worth it just for this one here because unless something crazy happens, and I pre-warned this guy too. I go, look, I showed him the plan tonight via FaceTime, and because he's all the way like 3,000 miles away. So for you Americans, that's like from Seattle to New York. That's how far he is away from me, basically. And so he's a single guy, 22 years old. He does proposals and stuff like that to the government of Canada, writes proposals for government um, either legislation or funding. Sharp young guy, 22 years old, and his uncle got rich on the internet with Shopify or something, but his uncle can't teach him anything because it was just a one-shot deal with some product that's it's one-time deal. So he can't teach his nephew how to make lots of money on the internet. So this is his gold mine. So anyhow, long story short, it was worth it just for here, and not to mention, it was really worth it just to meet those three champions at the meeting last night. So really fun. Now here's hilarious. One guy out of here today, he was at this restaurant taking his girl out for fancy restaurant, and I happened to be in the parking lot of that restaurant, parked right beside him with one of my Mercedes, and he had a Cadillac right beside me, and I said to him, like we were both getting in the car at the same time, so we were kind of like, he parked the opposite way of me, so our driver doors were right side by side. And I'm like, oh, sorry, man. Here, you go ahead first. I go, is that the CTS or STS? He goes, CTS. I go, oh, is it the V series? He goes, yeah. I go, it is? I don't see a badge. He goes, what? I go, is it the V series, as in V? And I better scribble that out. So he goes, oh, no, I wish. Because the V series is like the very high end, top of the line Cadillac. And he had a CTS, but it wasn't a V series CTS. So it's kind of like the Aventador. There's the Aventadors that are like 500,000, and then there's like half a million American. Then there's like the then there's like the Aventador SV, which is 750,000 Canadian. So anyhow, maybe it's 500,000 Canadian, the base one. But I know for sure that I have a video on the website here. Go to the videos, dream building, and then scroll down to the Aventador SV where she talks about how much it was. She goes through the numbers, but it's $750,000 Canadian for the SV Aventador and about 500,000 for the Canadian one. Anyhow, long story short, it was so funny because I go, what do you do for work? He told me some trade or something, and I said, do you do side jobs? He goes, yeah. And I'm like, oh, okay, he might be potential to help build the house down the road. So anyhow, I go, okay, well, hey, give me your number. He didn't have a card. And so I go to text him, and I had met him a long time ago. I don't know where we were. We were probably doing something with construction. And I had sent him a text before that is hilarious. So I met him before, but I never used to have my hair shaved. I just recently did this. I don't want to shave my I don't want to do my hair every day, so I just shaved it off, make it easier to cut out and show the plan. Don't do that unless A, God tells you to do it, and B, your support team says, yeah, that's a great idea. So anyhow, that's really funny that I've met this guy a long time ago, so it's really comical. But that's the mission. You know, you get out there and you meet people. I live in a city that has like 2 to 3 million people in it minimal, and that's just comical. When I say city, the surrounding cities, not the exact city I live in, but there's so many cities right next door to us. It's like a big metropolitan type of thing. So anyhow, I met him a long time ago. What's the chances of me meeting a guy and then me meeting him again with 3 million people living in there? So I'm pretty sure it was within the last year or so that I met this guy. So too funny, meant to be. Gotta call him, have a laugh. So that's it for now. It's a 15-minute video. My gosh, I wish it wasn't so long because it takes longer to load this up. So like I always like to say, even though I don't know you, Oh, and special shout out to those three champions in Alberta that they're road warriors and they are super warriors. And it's just, if you don't know what a warrior is, just go on YouTube and type in warrior Christian song on YouTube, and you'll see the beats are pretty good on that song. So anyhow, or just type in champion by Ludacris and Carrie Underwood. That's what they are. All right, like I always like to say, even though I don't know you, I love you.